Ahoj, tady Petra a podcast Filmová 174. Další porota, kterou si k mikrofonu pozval kolega Gert Hermans, byli členové Mezinárodní odborné poroty pro krátké animované filmy pro děti. Jejich anglický rozhovor si můžete poslechnout právě teď.
Hello everybody. As you know, we like to hear the voices of the jury for real. We like to hear them on the podcast, and you can also read their interviews on the website. And today we have a great jury with us around the table, the jury of the animated film section, who's ready to make their decisions after negotiating with the children's jury. And we would like to hear their opinion about all the things that happened this week in the cinemas in the Zlín Film Festival. So who do we have around the table? Please introduce yourself.
So, hello, I'm Alexandra Májová. I'm Czech animator and director. And I made students' film Metropolis and Swimming Pool, and now I finished TV shorts for the TV series for shorts, Hungry Bear Tales.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Tomáš Danay. I'm a program director of a festival called Biennale of Animation Bratislava. I'm also an animator myself. And I also teach on the University of Animation in Bratislava.
Hello, I'm Vassilis Karamitsanis. Being a lawyer of profession, I'm also president of Animasiros International Animation Festival, annually taking place every year on September on the island of Syros in Greece.
So, thank you. Happy to have you here. Let's check how good you got to know each other during the last week.
Oh, okay.
Who of the three have been drinking the most?
Yeah, I think it's Alexandra. Yeah, no. for sure.
I think it's Tomáš. To be honest,
who has been talking the most? Who's the most talkative?
Well, I guess that like the only answer is Vassilis. Yeah. Sure. There is like no question about it. There is no question about this.
Who fell asleep the most during screenings?
I didn't fall asleep.
Well,
very interesting.
Yeah.
And these wake-up calls, you know, they made us being really awake in the morning. Every 9 o'clock, 9:10 is going to be like my...
And unfortunately, we have like a shorts, and after every short there is a clapping of audience. So you always wake up, you know, after this clapping.
Two of you are festival organizers, so as a festival organizer, if you could steal one thing from the festival in Zlín and take it home with you to your festival,
I think it will be the budget.
Okay.
I'll steal the trio of the girls, Marketa, Yaroslava, and Mila. You know, like they have something which is a special energy, which is not only welcoming, but very efficient. Like you understand that everything is flowing on an organization level, much beyond the money, as you said. Like it's also very good chemistry built between them and with the guests.
Good choice.
What was your favorite animal so far in this week's film selection? Which animal did you like particularly?
Actually, I really love this one. It's from the movie Town Hall Square, and it's like a little tiger, and it's so cute. What about you?
And just, I don't know if it's favorite, but we saw so many films with some birds.
Birds.
So
birds was this year's
theme.
Main theme was birds.
Yeah.
And also bears. There was a lot of bears as well.
And also...
Yeah, but you're partly guilty because you have bear films.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also some pigs. I think there was a lot of pigs too.
And I think birds was mainly when Thomas entered the pub when the birds were already singing in the morning. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you have a favorite animal?
I would go for the birds. Actually, I would go for the human bird, which was on the Corvine film, the Canadian film of the boy who was dressing up as a crow and dancing.
Any impressions you want to share about the city of Zlín after having spent a lot of time here now? Something that surprised you, something that you liked, something that you appreciated or not appreciated?
Well, we really loved the atmosphere, like in the park, and when we were going to the screenings, and the park was full of kids playing and all those activities and stuff. Yeah, it like elevated the festival to another level for us. It was so great, and I then think that the city is like really welcoming as well, and we felt really good in here.
Coming from a southern country where this kind of lush vegetation is scarce, I was always surprised by the urban greenery everywhere and taken care and really green and really refreshing. So there was always something like an intermission in between moving from building to building with the parks. For me, this is something that enchants me.
Since we're talking about Lynn, we should also talk about shoes. What's your opinion? Someone has an opinion or a particular preference for shoes? I can see around the table that we have at least one spectacular pair of shoes.
Yeah, yeah, we are just like, we have just basic shoes, yeah, unfortunately. So maybe this is a question more for Vassilis.
Yeah, actually, I've used Badger shoes previously, and they're very good quality. I didn't know they were Czech, because in Greece, at least, they were marketed mostly as Italian.
Really?
Without this little accent next to T, so it's not Bacha, but Bata. But, you know, I like shoes. I use shoes indispensably. This time, you know, I came with a little bit more of an extravagant choice.
Yeah, well, for the people who can't see it, it's a rainbow of colors and an extravaganza on Vassilis' very charming and well-built feet. Do you have an opinion about shoes?
About shoes?
Crocs?
Actually, no. Like.
Okay.
Actually, I own a pair of Crocs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I use them like a garden shoes.
Yeah.
Well, we had confessions.
Yeah, that's my first confession in here.
About people drinking, about people sleeping, about everything, but we never had this
Yeah,
very particular confession in the podcast. Thank you for sharing
but
intimacy with us.
Yeah, but it's very practical, you know, because I go.
The fact that you own them doesn't mean that you have to promote them.
Okay, yeah, all right, yeah,
but you can, of course. But
I just want to like say some excuses, you know.
So, which mature? Let's be clear about that. Which mature character, or, well, human or animal, would you like to get to know a little bit better and maybe even ask out on a date?
On a date?
Yeah.
You know, mainly the characters from these movies were kids, so I guess like taking one on a date wouldn't be a good idea.
I emphasize the word mature.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this guy was charming. Well, no.
Who's that?
No? You wouldn't ask him for a date?
Not really. It's not my type.
Okay.
The sailor, yes, I would go with a sailor.
Which film is it?
It's called Middle Watch.
And there's a sailor in Middle Watch.
Yeah, it's Czech also.
A Czech sailor in Middle Watch. What more can we expect from a man
No,
than
the
that?
sailor was not Czech. It's a co-production, Czech co-production.
Good. Well,
I'm just thinking.
it's a very instinctive question.
But you know, like
we're not planning your future together. We're just asking him out on a date.
But
he's already married with children.
Yeah, I'm here with my husband and.
So it's a very tricky question, actually.
But I like these funny guys, like from Edgar. Edgar. My name is Edgar and have a cow, and also this guy from this apocalypse film with dog. He was funny, but not my type. But I like.
But
funny
as long
guys.
as they're funny, you can take them out on a date.
Yeah.
And a date would be fun, at least, when someone is funny and humorous.
Exactly. Can you pick one director that we know who should have made a an animated film in his life? Like
You mean like live action director who
somebody we know as a live action director, but that we say, well, this guy or this lady should have made an animated film at least once in his life. Whether the director is still alive? Or?
Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, actually that would be really interesting.
Animation.
Yes, splatter one, you know, like.
Yeah, I remember some scenes from Sin City that were, it was not really his work, but at least there was some animation that he was probably connected to.
Yeah.
Anyone else has a name?
Yeah, maybe like Nolan would be really interesting in animation as well. But you know, a lot of his ideas comes from animation, and not many people know that. Like the Inception is inspired by anime called Paprika, for example. Sashka?
I don't know.
Okay,
Because there are like the directors that like animation, they mostly do it at least a little, like Wes Anderson.
yeah, exactly. We were talking about animals. Which animal that we have animators with us, at least two of you, which animal is the most difficult to animate?
Well,
I think horse.
And why is that?
Horse. Because they have like really special walk and running, I think. And also it's really hard to draw them. Like I'm always bad in draw horse. So.
And for me it's dinosaurs, because you know, actually like they have like a totally different bone structure, and the worst thing is that you have like no reference, because nobody knows how they really looked and how they really moved. So yeah, it's like kind of, it's a good thing because you can't do it bad when nobody knows how it should be, but at the same time, it's very hard.
Yeah, maybe some of them had a really funny walk or something.
Yeah.
What about the situation of animation in your country these days? So let's start with the
It's still growing so much and faster, and I think now it's really great. Like we have a lot of funding and a lot of new directors, which are really talented. And I'm always curious about new year, what will come from them, and it's still really surprising.
Okay, it's good to hear that.
And like our markets, like Czech and Slovak, are very connected. So I think it's very similar for our market. And we also have like a new president of Audiovisual Fund, and he has a background in animation. So we have like high hopes for him. So something will shift into our side, and maybe to get like more money into animation. So we have a high hopes for the future.
What about you, Vassilis?
It's growing. Greek animation didn't exist 20 years ago. Like it existed, but it was totally introvert. Now, with lots of work from the Greek Animation Association, which is called ASIFA, and the support of the Greek state, we have a presence which is normally culminated during the Greek Hellenic presence during the Annecy Festival, which is imminent. It's in 2 weeks from now.
Okay. Could you imagine yourself having a parallel career, doing something that had nothing to do with film?
He already does.
This is my life. I'm a lawyer, and in my free time, which is not that free anymore, I'm busy in organizing a festival, having a small animation production studio, and doing other cultural events in the framework of my organization. So,
I always wanted to be a footballer when I was young, but then I wanted to be a psychologist. So I guess I would be a psychologist if I wouldn't be an animator.
And
I think you have a communication hack. You could do well as a psychologist.
Ah, thank you. Yeah, maybe I could think about changing my career.
Or a parallel.
But actually, it's like very connected. You know, psychology and directing. It's like very similar. No, true. Because you know, you need to know the motivation of characters and stuff like that to write a good script.
What about you?
I would like to be like sea explorer or something. We don't have a sea in Czech, but it's really interesting.
Could be the lake.
Lake explorer,
it's
Destroy from the lake, and then we head to the oceans.
Yeah, but the lakes are not so clear here. Like,
yeah, but that,
you
I
can
appreciate the fact that you have a broad
Yeah, and
horizon,
also
and
I-
that you say, I'm going to explore
Yeah.
the deep sea.
deep sea, I would like to explore the deep. Like, so
The
there is-
Bermuda Triangle and stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe more like huge giant octopus and
Oh,
like,
okay.
But here there is just carps and and some dirty ponds. You can see anything under the water.
And you know,
Did you ever
but
consider like a deep sea animation? Because I can imagine that octopus is more interesting to animate than a carp.
Yeah, maybe I can switch. I think octopus is the most
Actually,
hard
there's-
to
hard?
animate.
Really?
I think there's like
Okay, because I have this question: what animals are missing in animation today? Which animals should be in the picture, like urgently? We should bring them in the picture because they are so interesting for animation. Would that be the octopus then?
octopus and also some these fish from the really deep
Yeah.
sea.
Yeah.
I think they are really
That's true.
interesting and
Maybe endangered species. It's something like animation could go even more into making society more sensitive about endangered species. At least even on a European level, that our environment is so polluted.
yes. But we saw one really interesting movie about this topic of the underwater life.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know where was it? Yeah. I need to
the
find
pond.
this.
I
The
think.
pond. It was called
The
the pond.
fish.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, and it like introduced species of living underwater and what they do, and it was a really nice movie.
And very nicely made movie.
Yeah.
Very nice artwork.
Do you have any advice for the programming committee?
That's a hard question, you know, because it's like art is always subjective. So I guess each one of us would pick like totally different selection for this festival.
Yeah, but it could also be about the perspective, maybe about the amount of films that you have to see, whatever.
Okay.
Amount? I think it was okay.
It was
I was
okay, yeah.
surprised. It was really nice.
Yeah.
Like
Maybe the first screenings could start like 2 hours later than
Well,
they
that's,
are.
that's the kind of advice that's a very good advice.
Very
So not to start too soon.
Yeah,
not to
maybe,
start
maybe,
too
yeah,
early.
maybe 9 is like too soon. Yeah.
but for kids, I think it's okay.
Yeah, I know.
For older kids, it's not that okay.
Let's head for one more question. Imagine you're a festival programmer with 100% carte blanche and an unlimited budget. How would your festival look like? What would be specific for that festival? No restrictions,
No.
either budgetary or artistically.
Oh my. Okay, this is very hard to imagine in a place like Slovakia or Czech Republic, but okay, how it would look.
Anyone else who has an idea?
Well-
Maybe like it's not so common to have here like open space cinemas. So
Outdoor, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
outdoor
outdoor, yeah.
cinemas, yeah. I
It's
really
a
love
contrary
them.
for us in Greece, of course, because of the climate,
Yeah.
and all southern Europe and Mediterranean countries, because Athens has, and it's really diminished the number, 40 outdoor cinemas in operation, commercial outdoor cinemas.
really?
Yeah. Even Ireland, where we organize the festival, and it's only 11,000 people, we have 1.5 outdoor cinemas operating with both blockbuster and an alternative kind of programming, which means also European films or under Europa cinemas. Most people don't know that Europa cinemas includes also some outdoor professional cinemas in the south. Also, this is south of France, this is the case.
So there we could do an animation festival with no budgetary limitations. That sounds nice.
Yeah.
And with good weather, of course, because weather can be bad even in the south sometimes. We've experienced in 16 times of organizing an animation festival late September, where it's like this kind of season-changing period for the whole of Europe. Sometimes we end up having Mediterranean hurricanes or haze and strong winds and strong rain, during the outdoor screening.
Okay, let me ask you one last question. What is the last film you've seen that made you laugh out loud or cry out loud?
From this selection?
No, in general.
In general.
It can be from this selection, or it can be whatever you saw recently that made you really laugh loudly or
That's
cry,
very
or
that,
cry.
an animation movie.
Whatever.
Yeah. Because
No
like
limitations.
for me, the first time I watched the movie, I watched it like from the professional perspective, so I don't get attached as much to the story, because I look at the VFX and stuff like that. So I'm
More
not
technical.
more technical. So it's very hard for me to
Yeah,
experience
and if you then
such a start.
If then you start laughing or crying, it means that something has
Yes,
gone really wrong with this
yeah,
film.
actually, yes. So it's very hard for me to experience such an emotion, to be like so connected.
Your professional perspective doesn't allow you
Any emotion, yeah. That's
Oh.
very sad, actually, yeah.
Is it the same for all of you?
No, I think I have a fun with that Netherlands, a film from Netherlands, The Pig.
Yeah,
It was really fun.
that was really fun, yeah.
In this festival?
Yeah,
It's
it
a
was
short
on this
film.
festival.
Yes.
Okay, because they also have there was also a Dutch animation
It's this.
feature with
It's called The Pig
uh-huh.
by Jorn Levering.
Yeah, and the
I got it right.
third one, there was some film from Norway, I think.
From Sweden, the one with the
Sweden,
Holocaust.
yeah, with the
you know.
Holocaust.
I almost cried.
Yeah.
Also. It's a short film about Holocaust story of a family from the viewpoint of childhood.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it was really moving.
Okay. This way you gave us an insight a little bit in the selection of this year's festival, and you also gave us an insight in the wonderful brains and bodies of this jury. So we feel very flattered that you shared all this with us, and we hope that you have a chance to enjoy the last days of your stay here in Zlin. Thank you for being in the festival. Thank you for being in our podcast, and have fun this festival.
Thank you very
you.
much.
Thank you so much.